The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave Van Auken. Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Jillian the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
Woo, 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 woo. Bro, I am dead. Welcome to the Dead podcast. No.
Oh, my God.
What's up,
Dude, did you watch The Walking Dead when you were younger in your years?
Not really.
Not your cup of tea? Great show.
Like, I do like that stuff, but I don't know. I never got into it. I was always that asshole that I was like, if it was a popular show, I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Dude, you're that person?
Yeah, I am. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones because I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Dude. You know what? Usually when a ton of people do something, it's like, okay, like
I know.
It's okay to get Coke from McDonald's once in a while. It's delicious.
Sprite or nothing. Sprite or nothing.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Guys, Dave Van Auken, Maddie Levine, the Fight Banana Show, packed 2 hours. So much to talk about. UFC 309, John Jones did a thing. Chandler and Oliveira fought, so that's something. Donald Trump is walking out. America is in Madison Square Garden, literally. Just crazy. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fought that night on Friday. You and I were in Biloxi, Mississippi for 4 days. I'm like, I don't even know where to start or what to do or what to talk about.
Well, let's definitely talk about Gamebred first. We have one of the stars, Maurice Greene, coming on at 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30.
So before he comes in, let's just tell our sides of the story because what a week, man. It was Dave Van Auken week and it was the best. So while all of you were trying to buffer your Netflix, we were chilling over on YouTube for Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA, and Dave was just absolutely crushing it next to Brendan Schaub. And not only was he doing that, he was doing in-cage interviews. He was doing the press conference. He was doing what else? McDonald's orders, Starbucks orders. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm so proud of you, my friend. I'm so proud and so happy for you. What a week. Where do we begin?
I know where I would like to begin at least. And it's funny you said what you just said, because I'm gonna I maybe some people might think this is a good quality or not good quality. I don't know. My happiest moment of the whole week, and I said this to you in Biloxi, I believe. There was some awesome stuff, of course, with just the play-by-play with Brendan and lunch and so many cool things. My fondest memory, my moment was when we were in the back room. So it's like a media day for Gamebred, and so much is going on and there's so many things are happening. And I look at this table, guys. So Gamebred has like a content team and camera people and people doing content for Gamebred. And at one time I look at this table for people that are working for Gamebred, and it's me and Maddie sitting here. It's our boy John, who's been doing post-fight shows for Fight Bananas for 2 years. His buddy, who did some stuff for Fight Bananas. Daisy, who's been like awesome, the best camera lady ever. She's done some stuff for Fight Bananas years ago. And I look at this table and I'm like, this is a Fight Bananas table. Fight Bananas, whatever this is. And I keep saying it. I don't know, I do a lot for it. I don't know what it is. It's just this little engine that could. And I look at this table, and I'm going to say this. I couldn't say it on Gamebred because there's like some lines. This is my show. This is our show. I can say whatever I want. Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA is the second most profitable MMA organization on this planet. Google it. All right. Do what you want. I know you can say the PFL does this. When you're losing over $90 million a year, it's not profitable. So we work for the second most profitable MMA organization on the planet. And I looked at this table, and Fight Bananas brought all of us to the dance. And I was like, I was proud. I was a very proud papa. So
I don't blame you, man. And it's such a reflection. I don't want to get too sappy. All right. I'm going to give you like 5 more minutes of me being nice to you, and then we'll get back to the regular scheduled programming. But it is just such a testament to who you are as a person, because I feel like here at Fight Bananas, and you specifically, you like to bring up the people around you. Like a rising tide rises all ships or something like that. I always fuck up that saying, but it's one of my favorite
you nailed
sayings.
it, actually.
But you are so quick to like raise everybody around you, and it shows. It showed this week. I mean, it's like you had like 7 people at this media table who all got their start on Fight Bananas. And it's almost like, you know how you have feeder leagues for the UFC? Like you got like CFFC, LFA, whatever, feeder. You're like the feeder for Gamebred. And I mean that in the best way.
Yeah. So I'm the Dana White Contender Series for Gamebred.
It is so funny. So I have a hilarious story. Before I share my funny story, what was the funniest moment that happened to you this week? We all know it was fantastic and wonderful and the broadcast was great. What was the funniest moment for you?
Wow, that's a good one.
Because I got one.
Man,
do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. I remember something kind of, but I don't think it's the exact story. So you go first.
Okay, so it's fight night. It's Friday night, Gamebred fight night. You and Brendan Schaub and Jorge Masvidal are getting ready to do the pre-show opening.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Can you say that again for me, please, for everyone in the back of the room?
David Ocken, Brendan Schaub, and Jorge Masvidal all getting ready to do the pre-show open. And it's no secret. Jorge loves to garden, if you will. You know, loves to enjoy a nice gardening sesh. This man had a nice gardening sesh before the pre-show.
Like right before.
Right before. And for whatever reason, he was so sweaty and his forehead was just like so shiny. And I'm on the side and I'm looking at him like, somebody's got to get this man a napkin. Like somebody has got to wipe his forehead immediately. And I'm like looking around, can't find a napkin. So finally I'm like, Jorge, just go like this real quick. Like, just go like this. And he's like, what? I'm like, wipe your forehead. And then he comes over to me and he's like, what? And I'm like, wipe your forehead. It's really shiny. He's like, oh, can you get it? So here I am taking my hand, wiping Jorge's sweat off his forehead like this, shining him like a cue ball. And then I go, you're good. He's like, did you get it? I'm like, yeah, you look good. He's like, all right, good looks. So the weirdest moment for me, wiping sweat for Jorge Masvidal.
Unbelievable.
Weirdest moment ever.
I know. There were so many like little things. I remember cracking up. There was actually once or twice during the show that, dude, I'm not trying to, I'm literally sitting next to Brendan Schaub. He's a stand-up comedian. Like that's what he's pretty funny guy. I know he's really polarizing. I didn't really realize that till afterwards. He's a very polarizing guy.
Yeah.
But so like he says a couple things on air and we're on air. We have hot mics. I'm like cracking up. I have to like hold down the cough button because like he literally, made me crack up. So that was pretty good. But I would say I think it's kind of lunch, Maddie. So guys, we got to the venue around 5 p.m. And so much the pre-takes and takes and shows. All of a sudden we're live for 4 hours straight. All of a sudden it's midnight. So like you don't eat dinner. Like people don't realize that you don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
So we had I knew that going into it. We've done this enough, Maddie, right? I knew, guys, we're going to get into the Frank Tate thing in a second. Wow. A lot of great Frank Tate comments. So I wanted to have a really good lunch. It just happened that Brendan and his buddy, Lex McMahon, who does stuff, Titan FC. I've known Lex for a long time. He's like, hey, we're going to go to lunch. I'm like, dude, Maddie and I are going to go to lunch too. And we just connected, right? All of us went to lunch. How funny was the owner of the restaurant? Like all those.
Oh my God. Southern hospitality, Southern hospitality is such a real thing.
Oh, it's a real thing. Yeah.
I haven't really
we had a stand-up comedian at the table with us.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. Were you having a medicinal weed session of getting rid of the weed? Oh, Sean, I love that. Had Gamebred on my TV, Paul Tyson on the phone. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, lunch was really cool. The guy was just telling us I don't remember any of them. They were like mind buster type jokes. Yeah. They
were funny. Like, remember
he told me to spell fork 4 times. Fork. Spell it 3 times. Spell it 2 times. What do you use to eat a spoon? Eat a soup? I'm like,
soup with fork.
I'm like, fuck.
It's a spoon.
So stupid.
It was good.
But yes, I'm so glad you said this as well, Sean. Tate's dog dapping up was great. I love bulldogs. I have a video here to show you because it's just so good.
Real quick, not 1 second on the dog. So it's so funny. When you hear John Anik and you hear all the UFC people talk about before the fight day, like the day or 2 days beforehand, you do these one-on-one interviews with the fighters and you get some details, some gossip in camp and just talk about life real quick so we can talk about it on the broadcast. When Frank Tate did that with, what's up, Chris, with Brendan and I, the dog was with Frank and we just thought it was the coolest thing. Like this bulldog, funny dog was like there just loving life. And then guys, we're in Biloxi in a casino. All of us were staying in this casino. Anytime you saw Frank Tate walk anywhere to Starbucks, to the roulette table to get something to eat, this dog was with him. So during the broadcast, something about Brendan said something about, he's like, dude, this dog's been in like Biloxi smoking cigarettes. He's been at the blackjack table.
Yeah.
It was just the funniest thing. I was cracking up. And then my best line was, the man took the dog hit on 18 on blackjack. You gotta relax there, puppy.
I love it.
But
did he mention anything about it being his like support dog or like therapy dog or anything like that?
No.
Because that's what I figured. I figured it was like his therapy dog because this dog was with him 24/7. Like
24/7,
literally
wherever Frank Tate went, the dog
catwalk during fight night. It went down the catwalk. It was cage side. It was in the cage. I got this awesome moment that I really want to share.
Sure.
TikTok universe loved it, so we'll share it here. Like what other show allows that? You know,
the best.
It was great.
Have you seen Frank Tate's all the attention it's getting? Like House of Highlights posted it. It's gotten more love than the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson stuff.
Love it because people love dogs. We love dogs.
Look at this, man. I thought he was out of the office today. Thought he was out of the office all weekend.
Great show, Dean. Great show.
The show was incredible. It's everything. It's the action inside the cage. It's bar none. I thought, and I said this on the broadcast multiple times, Maddie, the Gamebred crew, right?
So good.
The video that they were getting, the shots, the taping the fighters getting into the cage and little of that backstage thing. Yeah. Me and Brendan were like, dude, this is
the
UFC quality.
The content team like stepped their game up. Like it was high quality. Like not only was the broadcast great, but the social media was great. And it's just such a good vibe. It's such a it's so entertaining. It's just such a good vibe. So 10 out of 10.
I see our man, Mr. Ross, is just joining in. Javanius Ross. What a dog. What a great fight for him. Great win. Dude, the man's 3-1 under the banner. Like, this man just keeps winning fights. And, like, it was great how we commentated on it. Like, he got up angry. Like, some people, when they get up from, Tyler Hill was on top doing his thing for a little bit, trying to get submission attempts in. Ross got up, and you could he was like, let's end this. I'm over this. I'm over this. Great fight. Great fight. Shout out to you, Ross.
Jesse Ronson, another one that can't stop winning.
Dude.
Wild. Dude. He's so good. And isn't he 40? Isn't he like?
I'm not sure, but
I'm pretty sure he's up there.
I watched the broadcast a couple of times. I loved it. It was
no, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
It was the best. Every time Brendan Schaub says Jesse Ronson is strong, take a shot. And I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I'll leave it there. Dude, just watch it.
I'm gonna be hammered.
Incredible.
Yeah, I love that he called out Diaz to honor Jorge. That was pretty funny. That was a good one.
We knew that was happening.
I saw a comment here. Yeah, this one was rough, watching Nicholson getting KO'd. So that's the second fight in a row. I've heard from a couple people that it's like he should stop fighting. I think he just needs to stop fighting.
Ross. Shout out to Javanius Ross.
There you go. I think he just needs to not fight heavyweight. Definitely just go down to light heavyweight and it's like, all right, I got a bone to pick with some of these fighters because I'm like, why are we bringing children? Why are we doing that? And I get it, like, to an extent. Like, I'm sure having family members there makes you feel good. It's your
Sure,
support system. It's,
sure.
it does whatever it does for you. But a bare knuckle fight, I don't know. I don't know. Like, his kid had to see that. It's
I
tough.
know, I
It's
know.
tough.
So Brendan Schaub was not a fan of it. He
Yeah.
said the same thing. Not a
Yeah.
fan of it. Didn't like it. I, I we have history. Javonius.
Javonius, not Javonius. Listen, apples and oranges, baby. Apples, oranges.
Am I not? Am I still saying it wrong? Javonius.
I don't know at this point. I don't know. Apples, oranges, baby.
Javonius Ross. And not to try to get too. Dean actually sent me a nice text, and this man has done so much for me, but he's not the usually nicest texter to me. Actually, sent me a nice text. So shout out, thanks, Dean. All right.
I love it.
Back to Alex really quick. Dude, that's him. Like he's done it before. He's with his dad all the time. And you don't know what's happening behind the scenes with, he could have someone.
Dean, he's past the point of being helped. Past the point.
Which one is it?
I don't know, man. It looks like it's Javonius. Javonius? Whatever. We'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Dude, I felt really good about the names. All Marcus Brigagal, and Guto Innocent. Like I felt really good.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Mr. Ross. Thank you,
Mike. That's the way to do it. I love it.
Mr. Ross, good fighter.
Javonius, yes, got it.
Hope to God he never fights on a Gamebred card again. Okay, he's done.
He's done. He's not allowed. Dave can't do it. Just like it's spelled. It's coming after you.
Javonius. Dude, Javonius Ross.
All right, we got it narrowed down. But yeah,
right,
A+ moment, A+ card. Can't wait for the next one. Have we announced the next one when we'll be back? Was it like publicly announced?
No, I don't think it's like official.
All right,
so all right. You know what I mean?
But it's coming.
It's coming, dude. 2025. Get ready.
Love it.
Other than what was the highlight? You're there. You're on fight night. What's something that happened during fight night? The crowd, a fighter, the fight, something that happened. You're like, oh my!
I mean, the dog was freaking awesome.
The dog, okay.
Having Tate's dog there was really cool. A highlight of the night. Damn, that's a tough one. Because like I was blessed enough to have one of the best seats in the house. Like I'm at the social media table. To my left is the owners of Gamebred. To my right is Brendan Schaub and you, and right in front of me is just like pure awesome violence. And it was just like I'm trying to soak it all in, and it was just a really, really great night. It was just super fun. I think one of the highlights was the after party. That was a good time.
That was a good time.
I'm never pulling an all-nighter ever again in my goddamn life. I need to remember that I am 31 years old. I can't do it. His speech was fantastic.
Yeah, Dean maybe nailed it.
Dean, give Nate Diaz a call. Get him in there. Love it.
So it was funny. The best part of all this, Jesse Ronson tells Brendan and I this. Like he says that he's going to do it. So of course, again, I'm lucky enough, blessed enough to have that microphone go in there. I know exactly what he's saying. And I know he was very pro Brendan Schaub with Jesse. Like it was the whole thing. It was so funny. If I didn't know exactly where it was going, it would have been tough. But for him to be like, he's like, dude, I'm going to call out Nate Diaz. I'm like, let's go. Have fun. Let's do it.
Love it.
So,
all right. Sean, you're so right. I know we're going to move on, but the main was probably the most disappointing moment of the entire card. It's like that was a tough one. So just a little, I don't know, backstory, I guess. I've known Randy for a very long time. We've run in the same circles for a long time, and watching him evolve as a fighter has been really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I also know, all of his cornermen, his friends were there. And when that moment happened and he's starting to go like this, when I tell you everyone in his corner was like, dude, you're good. Keep going. You got this. Like, you're not done. You're not done. And it's like, we were all trying so hard to make him keep going. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what it's like to get hit bare knuckle. I know it's not fun. Did it hit his head? Did the knee hit his head? I'm not even going to go into that. What just sucks is that You expected a war. You hope that they finish, and you hoped to get the inaugural champion. So now it's like, it's so annoying.
There has to be now another fight for the championship.
Yeah, and
Has to.
Dean, I would, 2 new fighters. That's all I'm saying. Maybe give it to Brandon. I don't know.
Look, Maddie, Brandon has to fight for the championship. Has to.
Yeah.
Like,
I love Randy. I just don't know if a rematch is the right answer. I don't know. Thank God I don't have to make those decisions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a Dean Tool thing. That's a Dean Tool. I would assume it's Brandon versus Fighter X. I don't look at that. There we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Kid's a dog. Like,
has to.
Kid's a dog.
Has to. Dude, look at that. So we got Dean Tool saying Brandon Davis will fight for a title. He's saying that Jesse Ronson will fight for a title. How about a card? We got 2 title fights in 1 card now? Come on.
Maddie Levine's going to fight for the inaugural strawweight title. Let's fucking
There we go. A little bit more breaking news. It won't be against Randy.
All right, there it is. There it is.
You ready for this one? I'm not trying to. Didn't Joshua Weems beat Brandon Davis 2 years ago in MMA? Joshua Weems just beat Jason Knight on the same card.
I like that.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Joshua Weems gets smoked by Brandon Davis. Just saying.
Brandon Davis got to not throw a knee there.
Yeah.
I do agree with it. Great point, Ross Levine. If we could say that, let's kind of pull the curtain back a little bit. That night, Maddie, you talked about the after party. Brandon Davis was there. Everyone was there. Went to Brandon. I shook his hand and said, great job. He's like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, I totally understand, my man. Whenever you do, I'm here for you. 3 minutes later, he had a drink of his beer. He walked right to me. He says, can we talk about it? I go, let's talk about it. And I said that same thing. And he kind of said the same thing. He's like, I've thrown it a couple times. I was like, Brandon, you were so close maybe from the finish. Was that super necessary? Like, was it necessary to throw that? Why smear the line?
Well, it was definitely not a vet move. And for a guy like Brandon Davis, who has been in there so many times, it's like, that was, I'm sorry, but that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. Yeah. And whether it landed or not, that was a poor choice for sure. I don't see him making that mistake twice. But yeah, there's 2 sides to every coin, right? It's like, did it land or not? I don't know. But did you throw it? Yeah. So it's like, it's tough.
Yeah. We got Maurice Greene joining us in around 6-7 minutes. We also got Marcus McGhee, 10-1 under the UFC banner, 4-0 under the UFC. He's coming on at 2:00.
Yeah, 4-0 under the UFC for sure, and officially ranked. So very exciting.
Well, I'm just getting texts. Let's just say it's gonna be Brandon Davis versus Fighter X. That's all I can say.
Love it.
That's all I can say.
Love it.
That's all I can say. All right.
Can we bring in our friend now?
Yeah, dude. She's not a friend to me. She's absolute family. So absolutely bring her and say something great about her.
Say something great about her.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have enough time. We just don't have enough time. There she is.
Guys.
Dude, Elle, you look wonderful, friend.
Thank you.
The hair. It's slaying.
It was looking crazy and I threw it up in a half thing.
Look at you.
I like it. I like it.
They're long though. They're like.
Did you see the Jovanius Ross fight?
The what?
Dave doesn't know how to speak. That's all.
I just said it. I said it good. Jovanius Ross.
No, it is not Eos. Javanis. Javanis.
Did you see the Javanis Ross fight?
Javanis.
Yeah. Go to Gamebred BKMMA on the YouTube channel and watch back Tyler Hill versus Javanis.
I haven't had a chance to watch the whole card, but I have to say the commentary on the main event just sounded phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I was at church boycotting Gamebred.
Yeah.
Wow.
She chose God over Gamebred. This is bullshit.
Sorry, Dean. Next time I'll pick you.
Unbelievable, Elle. Can you come to a show?
Gosh.
Wow. All right.
Well, I think it's safe to say it was a successful Gamebred week. And then I can't wait to hear Maurice's side. That man is hilarious.
So
and
funny.
He
The highlight of
was
the
hustling too. He was selling crochet hats left and right. That
I
man
saw
was
that. That was
hustling.
so funny.
Yeah, he was hustling. It was
On your
great.
own fight week too.
Yeah.
We
Ross,
talked about the Frank Tate pop. Guys, it's 25 minutes into the show. We haven't mentioned John Jones yet or Jake Paul. What do we do?
Yeah, because we had priorities to get to.
Wow, Gamebred took over.
Guys, I have to show you. Grant got me something for my desk.
Oh.
Okay. Is it a dump truck? That's fantastic. Does it go up? Does it have it? Hold on.
Dude, that's epic.
Wait.
That is epic.
What's a good song? There's so many songs coming to mind.
But you can't play a song. We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube.
Oh shoot! All right, I'll sing it.
I'm
trying to think of that. Shuddy got. Oh my god. Okay, no, I gotta look at the lyrics. Hold on.
What the hell are we doing right now?
Maddie's gonna serenade us, guys. I'm so excited about this.
Okay, here we go. She
Javon
had dumped like a truck. Thighs like what? Baby, move your butt. And I'm saying again, she had. Come on, nailed it. You know that song, right?
Of course. Although I have to say, this might be a me generation thing, like a my generation thing, but when that song plays in my head, it no longer plays as the original. It plays as the German guy from Pitch Perfect singing it in a German accent, and I can't unhear it.
The pig. Is
what?
it? Is it? Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the movie Sing. I'm thinking of the movie Sing.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a great
God.
movie. Great soundtrack.
Unhinged. Listen, I definitely have a fever. I'm like all over the place. Whatever. I'm like blacking out at this point. It's fine.
These are the best days with Maddie. I'm just saying.
I know. This is.
Yeah.
All right. Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA. Incredible show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. YouTube page. It's free. It's amazing. Probably the best commentary team in the business. I'm just going to throw that out there. No, honestly, phenomenal show. Go watch it. Hats off. Hats out to everyone involved. Loved it. We're going to talk to Mo Green in 3 minutes. Guys, John Jones defended his UFC heavyweight championship. A spin-in back kick into the midsection to Stipe. Wow. Insane. John Jones, the greatest of all time, the best MMA fighter ever. I don't want to hear anything else. I will argue to the days. John Jones is the best.
Yeah. He looked fantastic. But Elle and I did have a good point on Sunday during our Sunday morning brew. We were saying, did he look fantastic or did Stipe just look terrible?
Oh, really old.
No, he did. He looked great. He's the GOAT.
He looks like
was Khabib good or did he just fight strikers? Come on, you got to. We give credit to where credit's due to?
No, I will give him credit.
He looks like he has not lost a step
at all.
I really hope we see him fight Aspinall, even though I know we're not going to.
Yeah.
I really do hope that comes to fruition.
I don't think we see the fight. I think he.
Real quick. Elle, you just mentioned that. Would you rather see Jones Aspinall or Jones Pereira?
Jones Aspinall.
What did I say, Elle?
Aspinall. Why? Okay. Yes. Is it a bigger name, quote unquote? Yes. I don't think Alex Pereira can beat John Jones. I want to see somebody that I at least think is capable of beating John Jones. Alex Pereira is not big enough to beat John Jones. He's not. I just don't think he is.
They're both UFC light heavyweight champions.
Not anymore.
You can argue the two best UFC light heavyweight champions ever.
But the difference
John Jones is not making 205 again.
Right. And the difference is when John Jones weighs in at heavyweight, that man is a heavyweight.
Yeah.
You
know, not to mention just the elite wrestling. Like Jones.
Right.
And this is trust me. I think if he gets him down at all, I think it's over. I love Alex Pereira.
I would love that fight just because of like the star quality of it, the pay-per-view moment, the popcorn moment. Like it would be so entertaining. But it doesn't make sense for the division.
Aspinall is more well-rounded. I don't even think Aspinall necessarily will beat John Jones. I just think he's the only one that can.
And he's the most deserving.
Elle, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite all-time song?
I don't have one. Favorite
name
song.
me one or two or three that you just like, oh, that's, maybe your childhood, a teenager song that you love. What? Blink 182.
First date by Blink 182.
Incredible song. Great
song.
Okay, Elle, it's a phenomenal song. That's your favorite song. It's not even the most famous Blink 182 song. So it's not the best rock song of all time. It's not the best song of all time. I feel people are so into the Tom Aspinall fight because he is, quote unquote, media wrapped him around the interim champion. If he wasn't the interim champion, if he was the 9th ranked heavyweight, it wouldn't even be an option.
Well,
the best fight is Alex and John.
You're comparing apples and oranges. He is the interim.
Yeah.
He's the interim that didn't even get to fight the undisputed champion when the undisputed champion got back and instead had to wait while he fought a guy who doesn't have a win over a single person on the active roster. Yeah, of course, if he was ranked number 9, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Sabine is a very tall, good-looking, very intelligent man. Just throwing that.
I don't think Alex can beat John Jones. I don't think he is well-rounded enough to beat John Jones.
There's a lot of stuff there. No one has ever beat him, and maybe no one will ever beat him. So there's not a lot there.
Agree. And maybe Aspinall won't, but he can.
He might, but that doesn't. To me, I think, and dude, we will get into this in a second. This is such a good conversation. We got the crochet boss here. We're going to bring him in 1 minute. But just, I feel like your number one stance or the pro of it is that you want to see maybe John lose.
I just want to see him. He's the greatest of all time. I want to see him fight who I believe is the best in that division.
But just real quick, that's a fair point. Very fair point, Al. Very fair. I'm just saying pound for pound rankings. He's number 1, right? I'm throwing that out there. Number 2 and 3 is John and Alex. Like, how incredible that we have a chance. We missed John and Silva. We missed Silva and GSP. Like, we never got that in, the top at their super close in weight. John and Alex are super close in weight. Super close.
Yes.
They're there.
But I also am tired. I'm also tired of it's the concept of unifying the heavyweight belt.
Forget the belt. Forget it. Just drop the belt. Forget it. The best fight
doesn't mean anything. Then the belt doesn't mean anything. And it should. I'm tired. I want to see champions defend. I want another era of champions that defend their belts in their weight classes consistently. Like, I
agree.
We ran into the same thing, Volk and Islam and Volk, and then lightweight got hung up for so long because of it. And we've had Armand just waiting for an eternity. No, I want to see those great fights.
99.9% I agree with that statement for sure. But don't you, and we talked about this a couple times. There's just a once and I hate to say this, is so dumb to say, but a once in a lifetime opportunity. There's just a once in a career opportunity. It's like, these irons are the hottest. I can, who has a bet? Alex is he's the fighter of the year. So you can have the fighter of the year, the Chama, this incredible force against the greatest of all time. It's it's a one-off, just one time. I don't know. We got the crochet boss. I'll let you get last word, ladies.
No, let's go ahead. Let's bring him in.
Okay.
I want to hear about these crochet hats.
Put a pin in it and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in it. All right, guys. Maybe the biggest winner of the weekend in Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA. This man was everywhere, was funny. Press conference, weigh-in, the fights, won the co-main event as an underdog, called out Junior Dos Santos. Let's bring him on, the crochet boss, Maurice Greene, to the show.
What up?
Oh,
look at you getting all comfy cozy.
Yeah, I looked at my call sheet wrong, so I got to be there at noon, and so don't mind me. I'm listening. I got headphones in. I'm with you.
All right.
Okay. And we'll let you go in 10 minutes, man. We won't take a lot of your time. Hey, the generic first question for you, Maurice. What I think an all-time weekend for you. Your face was everywhere. Your name was everywhere. You get the win. You get a submission win. You call out Dos Santos. One of the best weekends in your probably, I would assume, your career. Am I off on that? Was it one of those forever weekends?
Man, it's been I've had an up and down career. I fought a little everywhere, but that was the first time that my son had been able to be in my corner, cage side with me, fight week. He was never old enough, so very special weekend. I say this and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. If that was my last fight, which it won't be, but if it was, all right, we good.
Yeah, it was an incredible performance. You looked great in there. First time without the gloves. How do we feel about that?
Oh, I like it better actually.
Yeah?
It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's different.
What do you like most about it?
Everything counts. I was saying it all week. Everything counts, and a lot of times when you wear gloves, like I'm okay with getting hit with little shots. I was trying to not get hit and hit him, and sometimes it's hard for me to stick to the game plan because I get frustrated because I wanted to knock him out. Like when I had him before I choked him, everybody was saying knee, but they didn't know I had a chin strap on, and I'm like, you know what? I need him one time, and then he checked my hips. He was so worried about that knee that he forgot to fight the hands.
Yeah.
These guys forget. I now have 7 submissions on 12 wins.
Wow.
That's
right?
great.
I was in glory, and I can kickbox, and I'm a striker. But if you give me a chance to finish you, I will finish you with a choke. I'm not too proud to knock you out and get you all bloody. I'm trying to get in there and get the fuck out of there.
You did just that.
And I brought this up before. I like to ask all the bare knuckle fighters. I always felt like it would be easier to grapple without gloves on. Do you agree? Like, was it easier to get the choke?
Yeah, he gave it to me. Had he fought it, maybe I would have went to something else. I thought about doing like snapping them down and looking for an anaconda or something like that. But it was like, if he's gonna, I'm gonna give what the defense gives me. I'm gonna take what the defense gives me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So his defense gave me a 5-finger choke.
Yep.
So I took it and I went for it, and he didn't defend it to a point where I choked him. It was just my night, man. I was saying it all week. Maybe he underestimated me. Maybe he looked at my PFL performances and was like, man, I don't think he got it. But unfortunately, I was having a knee issue then. I got it fixed now. I can move again, and that's scary for all of these heavyweights. Every last one of them, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll shut up because I'll continue to be an underdog and do my thing like I have been. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, actually. I like it.
Me too. That's great.
Maurice, I thought the full week, not even just the fight itself. I'm telling you, media day, you were amazing. We'll get into that in a second. Earth tones, right? Earth tones. Just the media day, a press conference, the weigh-ins. Out of everyone there the full week, you just seemed in the moment. Like you just were there. You just had a good mojo about you the whole week, man. The whole week.
Yeah, I try to, man. Like the reality is, like, you could talk all that shit. You could say I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna choke him out, and I'm gonna hurt him, but you still gotta fight me though. I say that shit all the time. Like you can talk all that shit, you still gotta fight me though.
Yeah.
Come Friday or Saturday night, you still gotta show up, And Chase looked like he was in great shape. Okay, I think Chase may have been in the best shape I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is he gassed out in like half a round.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was very surprising to me.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, and you took advantage of it. So that's what you got to do.
I'll put it like this. I knew he wasn't going to out cardio me. I can guarantee that with the belly and all. He was never going to out cardio me. I live at elevation. I train at elevation. I do my everything at elevation. Right. And he gets tired. I knew as the fight went on, the more tired he'd get. I just didn't expect him to be that tired that early. So that's why when I got kind of grazed in the nuts, I thought I needed a breath. So I was like, I looked over at him. I was like, oh, shit, he need a breath. Let's go, ref. Let's go. Hey, just like, and this is the mental game. Halfway when we're sitting on the stool, right? We're sitting on the damn stool. I stand up on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I've already caught my breath. I went through my breathing routine. I've caught my breath already. But when somebody's sitting on the stool like this,
Yeah.
and they look up and they see you looking at them standing up, they're like, "Oh shit, here we go again."
It's a mental
And
game, baby. I love it.
that's the biggest thing I've learned from John Jones, the mental. We can always work on that closer to a fight. About a week out, 2 weeks out, all the work's done. The work's done,
Yeah.
you know. But mentally, there's a lot that can be worked on. So, I just remember that. What did I do with that shit? I'm listening.
No, a couple more. We'll let you run, my man. Of course,
Wait.
you mentioned him. We were just talking about. I don't know if you ever heard anything we were
Oh,
saying.
I heard everything you said.
John Jones, one of the great wins in the history of the sport, defeats Stipe, defends the championship, just keeps on winning. That's all that man does. What did you think of the performance Saturday?
Flawless. I posted it all day. Flawless victory.
Yep.
If I could do my Mortal Kombat voice, flawless victory. And it doesn't get any better than that. And John's at the point where he should get all of his flowers. They should give him whatever the fuck he wants because he earned it. And yeah, whatever he wants to do, he's gonna do, and he should do. So
I agree.
I mean,
Dave, stop smiling.
I know, for real.
Hey, I'm been smiling
I'm
for a
not
week
saying he
straight.
doesn't deserve it. You asked me which fight would I rather
Oh,
see.
here we go. Here we
nobody
go.
wants to see Tom Aspinall. Nobody fucking cares.
I do.
Listen, Tom is annoying. He's boring. There's nothing there's nothing there. I mean, he's a great athlete, but guess what? The greatest athletes don't make the greatest fights. The greatest athletes don't put the people in the stands. Let John go do whatever the fuck he wants to do in MMA because he earned it.
So
And,
do you think
and
Alex
give him
is
the
next?
money, huh?
Do you think Alex is next?
Alex should be next. I fought in Glory when Alex was a champ, and
Nasty.
I just let them two boys fight and then figure it out after that. I'm sure if you let them fight, maybe after that he'll want to fight Tom. Maybe, just maybe.
Ooh, that dude, I didn't even never thought of that. Mo, that's a great idea in a weird way. Just if John says, "Hey, this title means nothing," right? I'm the greatest. Everyone knows it. Drop the title. Aspinall can fight someone else, right?
Yeah,
Alex and John does their thing. John defeats Alex, takes a year off or whatever. It's 2027. Just imagine if Tom wins 3 or 4 straight. Now it's a bigger thing. Imagine John and Tom in 2026.
Let that shit simmer.
That way.
Let it simmer. There's more money if you just let it simmer.
I like it. I like it.
Well,
you
before
got the
we let you
backpack
go,
on.
I know. Before you,
No, you're
let
good.
you
No,
go,
you guys are good. Keep
I
going.
want to hear more about this crocheting business because man, you were working all week.
Fire.
I feel like
missed
you were
out on the hats.
Yeah, everybody was getting
Here.
hats. It was the best.
I got you. You ready?
Okay.
Let me how do I turn this goddamn can? I don't know if I can.
I don't know.
So this is just some of the yarn. This is just it's a lot. Like it's a lot. Yeah.
That's
Look at that Gamebred hat. Okay.
Oh
Could you
I got it.
Could you crochet Dave a banana hat?
Yeah, look. Yeah, here,
Like a
look.
banana?
You see this big thing? This is a cardigan I'm making right here. It's just not
I
done
love
yet.
that.
It's
I'm
coming.
wearing that for the next.
I gotta know how this hobby started.
So I was So I was about 330 pounds. This is before I started MMA, and I had a clothing line called Monkey Business Decor, right? And me and my business partner wanted to do something new, and so I went to work. I was working at a company called E-Access. I went to work one day, and this girl was knitting a scarf. I was like, "Fuck, I want to learn how to do that." So we went to Joann's on my lunch. I got knitting needles, and I started knitting. Well, I lost my license in Chicago, so I would commute on the Metro about 5 hours for an 8-hour workday. And this is right around the time I met my wife. She was like, "Babe, you should learn how to crochet. It's faster." So we were living in Chicago in Lincoln Park. I got on damn YouTube and.
Did we lose him?
Maybe.
Now.
I'm really excited. I know he can't talk about it yet, but he's headed to his next project, and it's cool. He just can't talk about it just yet. So I'm looking forward to him talking. Oh, there we go.
We got him back.
All right. So it It was oh, I be forgetting what I'm saying. So you want to be
That's
a
all right.
fighter? That's what I be telling people because that's the reality of being a fighter. So I started crocheting, and when I was fighting, I used to go by the pirate, right? Because I didn't want my coach to give me one of them whack ass big guy names, you know. And I came home one day and I called my homeboy Bill and I was like, "Yo, I'm about to change my name." He's like, "Man, what you mean?" I said, "I'm about to change my name to the Crochet Boss."
I
He
love it.
was like, "Hey," he goes, "Mo, that's it." I said, "What you mean?" He goes, "Bro, they don't give a fuck about you fighting. They want to know what's up with the Crochet Boss, okay?"
Yeah.
Um,
100%. Yeah.
and now, I've been doing it for so long. It's the calm before the storm. I'm about to,
Yeah.
I'm about to come out with these Mr. Steal Your Granny shirts.
Oh
Uh,
my God, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Count me in for one, please.
It's good to have a hobby that's not like physical though. When you train so
1000%.
hard, it's nice to have something relaxing.
Good point, Al. Good point.
but between training and between crocheting and I also play the saxophone.
What?
So
Okay.
yeah, so I
You should
started playing
you should
the
join
tenor
Gerald
saxophone.
Mearshart for a little session.
No,
Well,
he's too good. Hey, Gerald Mershart is a beast with it. Hey, once he started playing, I already knew he was out of
That was
my
a wrap.
league. He's way, yeah. He's like, oh, I haven't picked it up in like 3 years. He puts it to his lips. I'm like, oh shit, okay, all right. Hey, you could tell that motherfucker play. I
Yeah.
used to play the trumpet back in middle school, but in an effort to get my son to play saxophone more over the summer, because he's been playing for about 3 years now. We got his mom's old alto sax from middle school, so I was like, I used to play music.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and dust it off. And then I ended up getting a hell of a deal on a tenor sax, so I have my own tenor and an alto. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
trying to learn. I'm trying to learn how to play like Lovers and Friends on the saxophone. You know what I
I
mean?
love it. Like you are just such a multi-dimensional person. It's
I know.
awesome to watch. It's great.
We need to have a concert when you learn the we'll have a Fight Bananas live
Yes.
concert when you learn the song.
Oh,
Love
right
it.
now I'm learning Narcos, the intro song for Narcos.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I just learned the first part in the first verse, and I think I got it down. And I can play it together, but my sound is off, so I got to take some lessons because it's really bothering me. Like I can play it, but my sound, it just, when it sounds right. Like when you've played music and you know what it's supposed to sound like, you just know when it sounds right.
Yep.
And I gave my son was like, "Dad, let me see it. There's nothing wrong with your saxophone." I was like, "Man, there's something wrong with it." So my son takes it, and I'll let you see my eyes for this. And he put on his mouthpiece, and then the motherfucker started playing it. And it was just that look like, because he was telling me, "Dad, it's you." I'm like, "It's not me, man."
Aw.
Aw.
It was 100% me because he sounded amazing. And I was like, all right,
That's awesome.
got 2 years on me, okay?
I love that. I love
If-
that.
If it was a popular show like Narcos, that means Maddie has never watched it. But that's another point
haven't.
for another time.
Damn, you gonna let
I
him
know, Mo. I know. We're trying over here. We're trying.
You gonna let him
Maurice,
like that live?
Maddie, you gotta
Listen,
jump on. You gotta jump on.
I guess.
Maurice,
I
Mo,
guess.
we appreciate you. Hey, we know what you're going to. We're so pumped for that. We'll talk off air about it. Keep doing your thing. We love the call out, Junior Dos Santos. I'm telling you, not just saying this because you're on. I've been saying it to everyone. Literally one of, if not the highlight of the weekend for Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA. Stole the show. Maurice, man, big things ahead. Big things.
Yeah,
Real quick, Maurice. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, where can we get your crocheted goods?
Ooh,
Where can people find these?
So right now, I'm just word of mouth. So if somebody really wants something, send me a message. I'll put it together. Give me a couple colors. Then let me just do my creative thing. And If they like it, they can buy it. But if they don't like it, I don't care if they don't buy it because I'm going to sell it. I'm that confident.
Okay. All right. So slide in the DMs of the Crochet Boss. Get yourself a crocheted piece of apparel. I love that.
Maurice, you got the Boss Man Dean tool saying you're the man, man.
Let's go! Hey, all that matters is, I'm 38. I told you this real quick. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Yep.
Yeah,
honestly, that should be your next shirt.
You're right. That. I think beating Chase Sherman in the fashion I did and I think I outclassed him. I didn't just beat him. I outclassed him. And Chase is a good fighter, but I will say that not trying to be disrespectful, I was able to outclass him. And I think that should count for something. And I think Junior should go see about it so I can walk away with that strap and beat the old dog.
Wow. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Maurice, huge fan of you. Keep doing your thing. I love seeing you and your boy do your stuff all week. I'm telling you, you're the man all week. Maurice Greene, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, Maurice Greene. Dude, so good. So good.
So entertaining.
Dean, I want to get like a Fight Bananas crocheted, I don't know,
for sure.
Cardigan, hat.
What's
something.
next for Maurice?
I would rock a cardigan for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I would wear it on air. Like I would do at the next Gamebred show. I would have the mic, doing my thing with the crochet.
Love that. Love that. Cool.
Maybe we all need cardigans.
Except I'm the only one that was
our Christmas card to the people out there that we're going to send it to.
I'll send Maurice crocheted cardigans. But they're banana themed. Little bananas all over.
Ooh, shit. That's good.
Shit.
That's a good fight.
Maurice Greene versus Guto. Take my money. Just take my money.
Seriously, take my money.
Dude, the Guto boogeyman thing was amazing for 3 days. Wow. We were hyping that up.
Yeah.
Dude, I know he said he didn't fight good, but for one, Guto hasn't fought in a couple years, maybe a little rusty. That kid Marcus was an absolute monster, beast stud, and still knocks him out in the first. Like Guto was amazing.
I know, and he was losing for a little bit, and then he was like, "Oh wait, I'm Guto," and then knocked him out.
Wait.
Oh wait a minute, I'm Guto.
He's Guto. Dude,
yeah.
You know, Dolph Lundgren wears Guto pajamas. True story.
Okay.
True story. The Rocky IV bad guy wears Guto pajamas.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Take my money. All right.
So hopefully in about 8 minutes or so, Marcus McGhee is going to be hopping on with us. So Marcus is actually headed to Marcus McGhee start at 2:05.
Yes.
I like that.
Dude, Dean Toole's dropping all the knowledge on this. I love this.
So Marcus McGhee was one of the studs for the UFC over the weekend. Yeah. He is traveling from New York back home. He's supposed to be landing. He was supposed to land roughly half hour ago, so hopefully there's no delays there. But he said he's absolutely hopping on. So,
let's go.
Yeah, it'll be nice to talk to him.
Hopefully, we'll be hearing from David Onama this week as well. We're setting
up.
So
everybody's talking about him, and for good reason.
What a fight!
Yeah,
and maybe we're going to talk to another guy who fought on that card, who's American, who likes Trump and Russell's. I don't know.
Right, Trump's favorite fighter.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see.
Couple weeks. He's traveling.
Just real quick, how crazy? And I don't know. And dude, I don't care who you vote for, whatever. Just I don't care. It's over. It's done with. It's
not what this is about. Forward.
But I'm a huge crowd person. I love like that pop of the crowd. I love that. When Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Kid Rock and Dana White walked out. Holy
and
shit.
RFK was there. Steele was there. Who I was like, this might be my favorite crossover ever,
dude. It was the greatest thing ever.
Like that could have been
I don't care.
That could have been an album cover. Like, but this is definitely like I was trying to say this, and like people online were like not having it from me. Because I was saying, like, this was absolutely the first time that the broadcast basically, like, paused for a second. So the commentators could say hi to him. I mean, granted, Donald Trump went up to him and kind of interrupted the broadcast and, like, made it happen.
Which he can do.
Which he can absolutely do. But, like, everybody online was like, basically, you're an idiot. Donald Trump's always at UFC cards. That's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is that was the first time a broadcast literally stopped. The commentators got out of their seats and we saw them like shooting the shit.
Like while they were supposed to be mic'd up on air, they're like
getting ready for
hang
the
on.
main card. Yeah.
And Maddie, to triple down on what you said, it's the moment. Sometimes we all have family members. If we see them every day, it's cool, whatever. But if you don't see a family member for a couple years and they like surprise you that you haven't seen them in a couple years, it's a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
What has the man was shot at, was trying to be assassinated, then he tried to win, like everything. He's been there multiple times, but that was the best moment of him, like the comeback.
Well, I mean, it was the first time, it was the first UFC card since being elected, so obviously people were going to go insane.
Which I'm sure he probably won't be at as many shows when he's in office. Is going to be
right,
but
so
hopefully we'll get our fill of Trump UFC crossovers before January.
It's Jorge Masvidal, from a great reporter for Fight Bananas. A great reporter in Fight Bananas asked Jorge about if Trump will come to a Gamebred show. He said absolutely. So if that means if Trump comes up, is he going to come to me and hug me at the broadcast?
Dave's like, please.
Jesus Christ,
dude.
I wonder what he smells like. I bet he smells
like America.
He smells like America.
Smells like America and self-tanner.
Yeah, apple pie, freedom. It smells like America. Send link. I have 10 minutes. All right, there we go.
Dean, you say this, and then you never come on the show. So
no, he's coming on.
Come on this time.
He's coming on.
You better come hang out with us. I miss your face. I didn't get to come to Gamebred, so.
I was with Dean all week. Still miss him.
Let's see. Before I'm trying to think. We had so many things we wanted to touch on today.
I still got that game I want to do with you guys. Okay. Can I pretense it? The game?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there was a boxing event this weekend, by the way. We'll get into that later. Muhammad Ali has that picture. With me just saying that, I think everyone knows that shot I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And
iconic.
3, 2, look at this. Great skills here at Fight Bananas. This shot right here.
Yeah.
So that's the shot. What if you think of that shot in the UFC? What shot is that? Like, give me the most iconic moment to you as a UFC. So we're not going to do it right now. Dean might come on the show, literally, but I want us. That's going to be our next thing when we get into it.
Well, I guess we're going to wait. Are we waiting?
I have so many. I have them all saved on my phone.
Yeah, I got 4, but I have the winner. I have 4, but I have the winner.
There's only
4
one
of mine
right
from this last year. Like,
yeah, there's only one right answer.
Really?
There's so many.
Maddie, can you go first? I would love for you to go first, Maddie.
Sure. Okay, let me get my screen ready.
This is Maddie Levine's Muhammad Ali UFC picture.
Well, all right. So I have 3. I think this is the only right answer. Boom. Adesanya versus Pereira.
That's 2. One of mine.
That I was there for this. I was there live for this, and it was the most insane moment. And like, I mean, come on, that's like virtually identical. Identical. Then I have this one. Let me pull this one up here.
That's a good one, Maddie, by the way.
Yeah. This one's kind of a sneaky one. It is I'm so sick. I can't even. Emmett versus Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell. That one.
That's a good one right here.
I talk about fights for a living. I don't know who these 2 guys are. Can't be that one.
Excuse me?
Can't be that one.
Dave knows them. He's just being a butt. It's not iconic enough. I agree.
Thank you.
But
the most iconic UFC picture, and you bring up Josh Emmett to me?
Are you looking at that photo?
You better come correct, Maddie.
Are you looking at the photo? Look at the goddamn photo and tell me that doesn't.
Was the moment as iconic?
Am I still sharing my screen? Okay, there we go. And then I have one more.
Sharing the right screen.
Yeah, seriously.
I wonder if you have one of the ones.
Holloway versus Gaethje.
Oh, okay, that's on mine. Well. That's on mine.
Yeah.
You're missing a very iconic photo, though.
I got that.
Damn.
I got that. So good. Good pick.
Thank you.
Anderson Silva.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
That's a good one.
I agree with you. I also have Alex Pereira's.
I was gonna do that, but that one feels like sillier. Funny. You know? Yeah.
Connor winning 2 belts.
This was the picture I found of. Oh, never mind.
We got Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, Dave said, "Fuck you, El." He's gonna go.
Jorge.
Yeah, never mind.
And the winner. And then we got Dean Toole coming in 1 second. El, we're gonna go. This is the winner. Muhammad Ali is iconic. You got to go with the most iconic UFC fighter. It is John Bones Jones walking away.
Great.
Yeah,
picture.
Tissy just
That's
said that
the
one.
winner.
Yep.
That's the moment.
Walking away from
Thank
a
you, Mike.
dead body.
That's the Muhammad Ali picture of the UFC.
That is incredibly iconic.
That is incredible. Talk about incredible. This man, Dean Toole, had one of the great shows of combat sports of all of 2024. Gamebred Bare Knuckle in Biloxi just keeps on putting up event after event after event. The boss man of Fight Bananas, the man behind it all, Dean Toole.
That's a solid looking backdrop right there.
I miss you, Dean. Feel like I haven't seen you in a million years. How are you?
I haven't, L. It's cool. You know, church comes first.
You know, Jesus.
God
Jesus
before
said, hey,
all.
Gotta skip Gamebred. Sorry.
Sorry.
So what was so important with God?
Oh, I had a church conference.
I'm dead.
Jesus, so what was so important to God?
So what did God
What
say?
did Jesus have to say?
Because God was not present Friday night. There was so much violence.
Dude, what a card Friday night, Dean. What a card. Gamebred Bare Knuckle Biloxi.
All right, well, I have a
Over-delivered.
question for Dave.
Yes.
We're gonna interview you. All right.
Love it.
Can you show me in Javanis his name where it has a IOUS?
It's Javanis.
Now he's got it.
Javanis Ross.
Show
He's
me
the
where it
dog.
says Javanius.
Yeah, where's the ES?
Maybe.
And then I even sent you how to say it correctly, and then you said it again.
I'm on a live show. I got 3 guests coming on. We got 3-person live show. I got 4 events I'm talking about.
You should write an apology.
I just wish I could have
Javanis.
recorded.
I
me
apologize
helping
to
Dave learn
Javanis
how to
Ross
say in
for
Japoni.
not saying it correctly. He's a dog. He's a stud 3-0. I will pay money
Who
to watch
fought
him
Junior
fight.
Dos Santos in Jacksonville?
Huh?
Who fought Junior Dos Santos in Jacksonville, Dave?
Mauricio
What?
Verdum.
Wait, what?
Who?
Fabricio Verdum.
I'm pretty sure Radicchio
So
is a kind
close.
of lettuce.
So
Fabricio.
close.
I'm not saying it.
Now you are. It
Fabricio?
was like
Fabricio
Verdum.
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 Did you text me after the show, Dean?
Yes, I
What,
did.
you want to have a word? You want to
What'd
step
you
outside and
text?
have a word?
I text you that you did a good job, and I'm proud of
Yeah.
you.
Aw.
I mean, quick, favorite moment from fight night. Go.
I had a bunch of fair. I think the high five was pretty cool.
Yep, the dog high five.
You know, I'm friends with a lot of the fighters, so sometimes it's not the best when you watch your friend get knocked out. But I've been friends with Frank Tate for a long time. He's fought for Island Fights. He's done this to several people. He did this to Austin Lane. That was probably your first fight you've ever been to. Island Fights 50. Dave, I think that was your first fight I think you've ever been at. And he's done it. I mean, so many times when he's an underdog. It's just crazy. But, you know, it's not like Alex got his ass whooped. He just got caught.
Yeah.
You know, and it happens. Bare knuckle is completely different. Every single punch matters. Every punch, every strike is a lot more effective than a regular fight with gloves. A jab will change the fight. A punch from the bottom will change the fight. A punch from a grounded opponent will change the fight. Just pretty much everything. I thought it was, that it was a very weird ending. But up until the weird ending, I thought the Randy and Brandon Davis fight was incredible up until then. And it just sucks it had to end like that. You know, we want a champion in every division. And it's hard to have several title fights on one card. So, we're trying to build out these divisions and have a champion in each weight class. So we'll just have to add Brandon onto, one of our upcoming cards and let him fight for the title.
Mm-hmm. Do you secure this title for your next fight night, or do you move on and try to secure maybe the middleweight?
We'll definitely have another title fight. So, but he'll probably just be added to the card.
Yeah,
another title fight on the card.
Okay, dope.
So he deserves it. He was about to win, and we had a conversation afterwards. Like, they can post 100 replays, but in the moment, like, the fight was done. Randy was about to tap out or be finished 100%. Fight was over. The knee wasn't needed, like Dave said earlier, and I think the fight was about to be over with. The ref kind of could have stopped it right before he threw the knee. I think Randy was done either way. But yeah, we love having Brandon, and he's obviously the most deserving person for the title. At one point, I think I told George, I said, go put the belt around Brandon. I didn't know what had happened in that situation. It was a super weird situation. You
Yeah.
know? You're right. Everybody was telling Randy, all right, get up. What should have happened is the referee should have walked over, gave him his 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
After the 5 minutes, then you have the doctor assess the fighter, whether it's an eye poke or a groin strike, anything where somebody is injured or would have a reason to not want to continue. At least give them their 5 minutes, because a minute later, 2 minutes later, especially 5 minutes later,
Might be fine.
their decision could be completely different than right there in the moment. An eye poke is like the worst fucking thing on earth. If you ask somebody if they want to continue to fight right after they get eye poked, you probably got like a 80% chance they're going to say no. You give them their 5 minutes, and then you let somebody come in and assess them. And then as soon as the ref called it, Randy just jumped up and walked to his corner. So a lot of people were very upset about that, you know.
So with that being said, Dean, do you think they should have gave 5 minutes? Doctor come in, and I don't want to talk too much on behind the scenes shit because it's not the right thing. The doctor comes in and says, Randy, you're okay to fight. Like, you're not concussed. I can see you're not concussed. The fight needs to continue. And then if Randy says no, it's a TKO. Like, right? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I don't think the ref can tell a fighter, right?
Well, that's what either way, you should just give the guy 5 minutes.
Right.
The referee is in control of the situation at the moment. He should walk up, say, hey, Randy, you have 5 minutes. Hey, Brandon, go in your neutral corner, and don't say anything to the fighter. You let him take his 5 minutes, put the clock on, give him his 5 minutes, and then come back, and then ask him. And if there's a situation, then you bring in the doctor, and you have the doctor assess the fighter, and then make a decision from there. But
yeah,
you know,
I think that
replay. Here, it's such a weird situation, you know. Like, you can't soccer kick somebody in the face, but if Dave's on the ground and I go try to stomp his face in, and he blocks his face with his hands, I'm still trying to stomp his face.
it's the intent,
You know,
Yeah.
and I don't think Brandon definitely didn't try to knee him in the face, and I don't think it landed to the face, but he was a grounded opponent and he got kneed to the area, right? And it's, you know, you can play it in slow-mo and replay, and it's just a shitty situation, you know. So, but I don't think it was needed at all. The fight was done. It was over with. He didn't want to be in the fight anymore. Something happened in that exchange that made Randy completely change his mind, and he didn't want to be in that fight anymore, regardless of Brandon's knee or any situation. I don't think he wanted to be there at that moment. I think he was out. So very weird situation.
A lot of gray area.
You're going to fight for the title next, 100%.
Do you have an opponent in mind?
I have a few different ones, so yeah.
Dope.
Get to it. But it won't be any that Dave recommended.
That's why I talk for a living.
I said what I said.
You have to make sure it's somebody whose name Dave can pronounce.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against anybody. I think a lot of people had a lot of great performances, but there's no mistake what we're looking for. Like,
Exactly.
you get rewarded at Gamebred, win, lose, or draw. If you come and fight, you get rewarded for that. And that's what
like the Marcus Brigagal kid.
Like the kid Marcos Brigagal, even though he lost, looked incredible. He can make light heavyweight. Like, he's going to be a superstar. He can grapple. He can strike. He can do it all. He even had Guto rocked a few times. And Guto's 250-pound savage monster, you know? So, but those smaller heavyweights are going to give problems to the bigger heavyweights. So I do think that the bigger heavyweights should fight the bigger heavyweights, and he should definitely be at light heavyweight. And I think he's going to be somebody that's going to be very tough for people to beat at 205 pounds.
Alex Nicholson. Brendan Schaub said multiple times on the broadcast he believes that Alex should be in a light heavyweight, a 205er. Do you agree with that? Do you not?
Yes,
do you think
he just got caught? Same situation. Alex will fight anybody in the world, you know? And then, you know, some people are like, oh, he shouldn't be fighting. I'm like, if you're not aware, he just beat Zach Prague, who was like a really upcoming star, was a finalist on Tough. He's a great grappler, great striker, is Curtis Blade's #1 main training partner, and he just beat him and finished him in his last fight, right? 5 weeks before this event. He wasn't even really scheduled to fight on this card. He just wanted to stay active. Alex likes to fight. He likes to be active, and Alex gives you, every time he goes out there, he either knocks somebody out or he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Like he's
Exciting.
if you're gonna pay money to watch somebody fight, it's somebody like Alex Nicholson. He's never said no to anybody in his entire life. He's one of the easiest people to deal with on the planet, just on the business side of things. He's like a promoter's dream, whether it's waiting on medicals, waiting on a contract to get back, just anything, promotion of his fight. He does it all, and he shows up, shows out. And again, he rocked Frank Tate a few times. He was doing great in the Chase Sherman fight before he got KO'd. A lot of people thought he was winning that fight, and it just happened. It's just a different sport, and they're in a weight division where every punch, every kick matters. Every single thing matters in it. So I think 205, I do agree. I think he would also be a star. I think him and Marcos Brigagao would be an incredible fight. Him versus
Alessio
Sakara, incredible. Even somebody like Prince McLean was doing great in that fight. And we never got to see how talented he was because, he had Alex hurt in the first moments of their fight. And the fight ends so quick. These fights end quickly. Like I tell everybody, it's like almost a 90% finish rate on these fights. 5-minute round is a long time. So
yeah, I forget which fight it was, but it was like, oh, we got out of the first round. Let's go. Like it's not very typical to see.
Well, Prince McLean's did, and then he had the broken clavicle or collarbone.
Yeah.
The doctor said fractured in half.
And that sucked because that was a great fight while it was going back and forth the whole time. And it sucked. I really wanted to watch that fight,
It's really cool to watch Gamebred just really pick up steam and get so many new fans and followers. And like this was one of those fight cards where it just got such great feedback online. And so now that you're looking into 2025, in a perfect world, what does 2025 look like for Gamebred? Like how many shows maybe, or maybe
8 to 10 next year. Our goal is 2026 to have 2 events a month. We have 8 events or 10 events. 10 would be perfect. 8 would be cool with that too. But 2 events in 2026, 2 per month.
Count me in.
Just trying to find the right markets that fit well, like
again too, like how many states is bare knuckle legal in?
Right.
A ton. I mean, there's only a few that it's not, and then the ones that you want. Like, I don't think we're going to North Dakota or South Dakota or places like that. But it's bare knuckles legal in several states. It's not approved in Texas, Nevada, New York, but it's approved in all the places that we would want to go. So
good.
And you can thank BKFC for that. They're the ones who lobbied and got that approved in tons of states. So it made our job a lot easier. But again, you have to have dates. So we need like 2 events per month in order to reach all these markets. If Orlando is an incredible market for us, then we probably want to go there 2 times a year. So if you only have 8 dates, and I go to Miami twice and Orlando twice, I only have 4 other places I can go. So I can't even reach all the states that it's open. So you have to have 2 events per month in order to really, really for us to take off as a brand.
Which, just to be clear, Nevada does not sanction bare knuckle fighting, but they do sanction power slap.
And I don't think anybody's we haven't had to do any lobbying here. So So I don't think that they would be major against it, but it's also super tough to do fights in Nevada. We've had 3 events booked there. None of them ever happened. It's very complicated. There's so many things on the commission side and approval of matchups, like weird things that you would never even understand, that like fights that make so much sense that get turned down. And then the medicals, you need an MRI, an MRA, you need like a complete 16 panel blood work. Like it's thousands and thousands of dollars for each fighter just for medicals.
Right.
So there's a lot of there's a lot of hiccups there. And I think most of it's also a union, heavy there. So what normally would cost, just for an example, setting up a cage or a ring, you're not even allowed to touch the cage or a ring because the union people have to do it. They don't even know how to do it. So you have to tell them, hey, pick up that piece of wood. It's just little shit like that can make things very complicated and way more expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But we would love to be there, obviously. And we're trying to go to We'll be announcing some dates soon. So
soon. Okay. We like that. One little maybe nugget more before. Who should John Jones fight next?
Alex Pereira.
My man.
I just want to watch that fight,
Yeah, 100%.
And I guarantee you.
Wait 1 second. 1 second.
Sorry, I'm back.
It's okay. So I asked Dean Toole, the promoter, a wise man, one of the smartest men in the combat sports industry. Who would he like to see John Jones fight next? Dean, please take it away.
Alex Pereira.
Thank you.
You're not allowed to say Alex Pereira unless you can say his last name correctly.
Hey,
so that disqualifies
Sorry. Sorry.
Realize how many versions?
So I'm not gonna roll my R's, but
there's at least 2 R's in there. You can call him Giera.
Definitely not Giovannius.
I just saw how Giovannis's name is spelled, and I don't know how Dave got to Giovannius.
Oh, it even rubbed off on Brendan during the broadcast, so everyone started saying it.
You're dragging Brendan Schaub down with you.
No, well, here's the thing.
Not about me, guys. It's not about me.
Here's the thing.
I'm deflecting.
If you do John versus Tom, okay, let's just say John beats him, but let's say he doesn't. Then what? Now, he's never. All the pound for pound claims are gone. Like sometimes when you want, the only way you'll get John versus Tom is if you give him Pereira first.
According to Dana and Jones, though, the next fight on the table is Tom.
Well, Dana
if
also
the money
said,
is right.
I was going to say, if the money is right.
In the same interview, he said, now look, if these guys start bombarding me and blowing me up and twisting my arm, he has to publicly say that because he thinks the diehards are going to like kill the UFC online because they end up making that fight. That's not the case. Like, who wouldn't want to watch? What's a bigger fight? What's going to do a bigger gate? What's going to do
John
bigger pay-per-view numbers?
I don't disagree with that. Personally,
I also
I would rather
agree with Dana that he can take him down at will and finish the fight in a millisecond, But look at John Jones in the past. How many times has he tried to prove he can stand up with a kickboxer and strike with him? He did it with Gustafsson. He did it with Dominic Reyes. He did
Glover.
it with he did it with Glover. He did it with every single person. He's always kind of like trying to prove a point.
But he always wrestles when he needs to.
He only did that though with Cyril Gane, So I don't know.
And just real quick, back to what you guys
and Alex has improved tremendously on the ground, And this dude is a monster. He's 6'4". The dude's walking around at 230 pounds, fighting at 185 at one point.
It's crazy.
Like,
he doesn't have to cut. He's going to be the exact same size as John. John's a 205er. Let's all keep that in our brains. He tried to gain weight for 2 years to compete, but he's a 205er. You
think he would still make 205 though at his age and his 100%,
size? Yeah. Because he did gain a lot of weight. He was 250, 255, but he showed up at 234 pounds. So I know people. Alan Belcher used to walk around at 238 and he fought at 185 in the UFC.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
So
Forrest Griffin walked around at 255 and made 205. Like these people are making massive like weight cuts, and their body frame, like they're the exact same size. I think I want to watch Alex versus John Jones because I know if John Jones beat him, he'll give the world Tom Aspinall. He's not going to retire after that. He's just going to make him pay him. And for him, if he keeps coming out saying he's going to fight Tom, he's killing his leverage at the bargaining table. He's going to fight Tom. He's never not fought anyone. This is his way of getting paid by doing so because they think they can't force it to happen. But it'll be the biggest payday of his life. And that payday doubles if he beats Alex right before that fight. So you got to think about checks. How many checks can I get? I can get 2 massive checks, or I can go get 1 check and maybe lose.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
I think we're talking about a moral dilemma and then what makes sense for money. Like,
I would rather see him fight Tom, me as a person. I'm not saying it's
because of the title thing.
I just rather see it, Like I like seeing the best guys.
Who did Tom just fight again though? I forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Who did he
Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades. He fought Sergey and then Curtis
He was
Blades.
getting caught in that fight.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody in that division. Who would you want to watch Tom fight if John Jones retired on Saturday night? you wouldn't give a fuck. There's not anybody on the roster that anybody gives a fuck about, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, Pavlovich is who they thought that he was going to give him problems. That turned out not to be true. So, like, there's no one else on the roster. Who was he going to fight? Curtis Blades 14 times? Is Daniel Cormier going to come out of retirement? Like, is Stipe going to say he's not retired anymore and come back? Like, who would anybody care if he fights? There's nobody for him to fight.
It would take a few more wins,
And then,
but it would have to be
if he fought John Jones and beat him, then what does he do? Who does he fight after that?
No, that's fair. He's the.
You got to think of the future of the division. Right now, he'll create hype, especially if John Jones retires his belt. Now, every time Tom fights, it'll be big time media because that's the guy that John Jones is supposedly ducking, but he's not. John's just very smart about negotiating this fight, and he's doing it publicly, which is making people like us talk about it on a podcast when he already knows he's going to fight him. But fight Alex. He knows that's the less dangerous fight, even though it's still dangerous. Yeah. Right. And then he knows he's going to get a massive payday. And then after that, he'll fight Tom. I guarantee you he fights Tom Aspinall. I guarantee you he'll be compensated for it. And he'll be compensated way more if he fights Alex first and beats him. Because right now, Alex is the UFC.
I wonder about Tom, too, because Tom, the interim champion, the only interim champion in UFC history who didn't get to fight the undisputed champ when he came back. He now has to sit for another year, maybe, just because.
And he also had a horrible torn ACL, right?
Horrible torn ACL.
So we don't know how he's gonna I don't think he has a chance to beat John Jones. Like, not even close. We've been doing this our whole lives. Our whole lives, we're like, this dude's gonna be the one to beat John Jones. Our whole life. And I bet against John Jones at least 15 times. I thought Daniel Cormier was going to be the one to do it. I thought Gustafsson was going to do it. I thought Gustafsson rematch was going to do it. Like, every single person. I thought Thiago Santos was going to do it.
I thought he beat him. I genuinely thought Thiago Santos won that fight. I also thought Dominic Reyes won that fight.
But that's a great example. Thiago Santos is a stand-up guy who John Jones fought standing up. For what reason? You know, and he fought him with one leg and still gave John some problems.
All right, one more question for Dean Toole before he runs. We love talking to him, the promoter, Bare Knuckle MMA. He's the promoter of Javanis Ross. He does a lot of great things here.
You did not just say it again.
Did I mess Javanis?
No, he said it right. I think it it cut in. I heard Javanis.
You thought about it mid-stroke.
No. Javanis Ross is a great fighter that we can't wait to talk to him here at Fight Bananas and see Javanis Ross win again. But no, Dean, all sincere, what's next? I know there is a date in early January. Can you talk about that? What is next for you and your team?
We have 2 dates for Island Fights, January 18th and January 24th, back-to-back weeks, 2 different states. Can't announce that yet, but January 18th will be all professional boxing. January 24th is Island Fights at the Bay Center. And then we have, I can't say these ones yet, so I can't give you that yet.
All right. So big January for Island Fights.
Let's go.
All right.
Hopefully we'll have an icon announcement for February.
Oh, nice.
All right. Let's go.
Down south.
Down near me.
Mm-hmm.
L might come to it this time.
I'll be there.
Maybe you can fight on the card.
Yeah, that's not probably.
Or does that void your Invicta contract?
It's more the health
physical
things than that.
Stuff.
No.
We'll talk off air, Dean.
Okay, I'll fight. Let's go.
I will be there.
Let's go, Maddie.
Return of Maddie,
baby. Pro debut. Let's go.
January 24th.
No, I can't. I'm a fat ass right now. I'm so fat. No, can't happen.
You can do an amateur fight.
Yeah. Is it boxing? You said boxing?
Well, January 18th is boxing, but January 24th is
all right.
MMA.
Give me a shitty white belt who doesn't know how to strike, and I'm in.
Done.
Done.
Give me someone with no skills, no arms, no.
Yeah. Missing a left arm.
Hold on, Anthony Smith. If you take away his wrestling, his right leg.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it.
Thanks, Dean.
You're the best in the business, man. Congratulations. Great show on Friday night. Appreciate it, brother. Always appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Love you, Dean.
Talk soon.
Love you guys. See you later.
See ya.
The great Dane Tool. The next guest is it. Do any of you guys got to go? Are you okay, Maddie?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's bring on stellar weekend at UFC 309. It's crazy. I didn't realize 10-1 as a record, 4-0 under the UFC. Absolute superstar. Let's add on Marcus McGhee to the show.
Let's go. What's going on, guys?
Let's go.
What's up?
Thanks for joining us, Marcus. Straight from the airport, like a G. Are you still in the airport right now?
I'm still in the airport right now. Just jumped off the plane. I didn't want to miss you guys. So
Oh, you're
What
the
a G.
best.
Thank you.
Well, wanted to give a huge congratulations for officially being ranked. So that must feel incredible. It only took you 4 fights. Just tell me how that feels.
yeah, it
14.
feels pretty amazing. I told the press I couldn't have written a better story, and the story continues. So, I'm just gonna stay grateful, stay thankful, and get back to work. And we have levels to get. So, we have a lot more building to do. So I'm excited about it, but the story continues.
I love that.
Well,
I
in
love
one
that.
of the deepest divisions as well. Like I think 135 and 155 have been just consistently these incredibly tough divisions. So to be ranked so early on in your UFC career, did you kind of plan out fighting a guy like Jonathan Martinez? Were there certain matchups that you've been like looking at in the rankings that you wanted, or did it just fall into place?
That just happened. Honestly, I wasn't gonna shy away from any opportunities that they sent me. I was just down to fight. I needed to fight. I've been looking to fight. I want to test myself. Training is great, and I love being able to train as active as I've been able to and grow. But my whole thing was just trying to fight. So when they gave me the name, I was pretty excited about it. But I was excited to fight Eamon in September when that was going to happen. And I would have been excited to fight any other name that they gave me. There's a lot of killers in the division. There's a lot of matchups to make. So, a name's a name. I just got to show up and do me.
Yeah, you're always so much fun to watch. Like your striking is just so clean. A little birdie told me that you've been working on some Taekwondo as well. Is this true?
A lot of Taekwondo. And that's why, even though I'm happy I got the performance, I performed okay. It wasn't the performance I was looking forward to. I feel like I really limited myself to my strike, to my boxing, and I have a lot of other tools that I could use. So the fact is, I have been working on my Taekwondo a lot, and I didn't throw in one spinning kick. I didn't throw one crescent kick. I didn't throw a lot of different things that we've been working on. So I'm looking forward to getting back with Abel, my Taekwondo coach, and continuing to chop some wood with him.
I love that. See
Speaking
some more
of-
spinning shit.
Yes, spinning shit. Speaking of kicks, though, I gotta know, being in there with a guy like Jonathan Martinez, how hard are the low kicks?
Yeah, they're pretty hard, especially when he lands in the right spot. Because there's a couple I was like, okay, that's not that bad. I thought
Right.
it was gonna be good, and then he caught the one spot, and I was like, man, that one did it. I better not get hit there again. Then I got hit there again, and I was like, oh man,
Mhm.
let's not get hit there again. And then I got hit there one more time. So it was like I had to power through it for sure.
But that was a perfect example of like there's levels to this, right? Like you could have easily kind of not bowed out, but gotten really affected by those leg kicks. But instead, you kind of like just adapted the game plan. Talk to us about how important it is to adapt in the moment as a fighter.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part. I think being present is one of the most important things as a fighter, period. We only have 15 minutes in there, and even though there's so much lead up to it, so much build up to it, we almost forget that 15 minutes goes so fast.
Yeah.
So that was my thought process in the moment too, was just like, man, yeah, I'm hurt, but like I can be hurt for the next 3-4 minutes and still be all right. And honestly, even when I was thinking, I was like, man, I want to get him out of here. It'd be dope to be hurt and then get him out of here still
Right.
while I'm hurt. So I was trying to throw for the fences and hopefully land one, but I landed a couple good shots. I think that deterred him from keeping on that leg, but I just couldn't get in there and do the work I was trying to do.
Yeah.
The great Uncle Chael Sonnen always says, when you beat someone, you take everything from them, right? Jonathan Martinez, his last fight before you, Marcus, he was the co-main event. He was the betting favorite against Jose Aldo. Like that just happened before you. You just won. You're 4-0 under the banner, like I said earlier. You got to just feel all that. Like you just got to feel more confident than I think ever. Like you feel all that momentum right now for you physically and mentally.
It's great, I do feel it, but and I appreciate the moment, but like my confidence is in what Jesus Christ did for me on the cross, and I really stand by that. It's not in the work that I'm doing; it's in the work that He's already done. So, for me, that's where my mind stays. It doesn't really veer too far off from that. And even though this is all great, and I'm excited, and and it's cool, that's the most important thing to me. So, I just got to keep on working, keep on putting my faith in Him, put my faith into the right things, my mind into the right things, my family, and the story that He writes is always gonna be better than my story. So
That's great. Yeah, let's see that hat you got on. That's a dope hat, man.
thank you. Yeah, this is getting put on the website here soon. Hard work got first, and trying to come up with some good merch that's like that shows my faith as well, but also that I can put on the site and mess around with. So it's been pretty cool. This is the only one I got right now though. So
oh, 1 of 1. Let's go.
When you get that link, send it through to us. Send it to Elle or Maddie, whatever. Send it to us. We'd love to shout it out, push it. We'll definitely get a couple for sure. We'll get the hats on the wall for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. I will. I definitely will. I got a bunch of shirts. I got a bunch of shirts and different stuff on my website and everything like that. This is just one of the hats.
Love it. My last one for you, and then girl, if you have anything else, almost right after your fight, Donald Trump walked out. Did you hear? Were you around? Did you see? Did you guys cross through any of that?
Apparently, my wife was saying that right as they dropped my song and I was walking out, he was walking in on the other side. So I'm thinking the whole crowd was just going nuts just for my song because I was pretty hyped and I thought the song was dope.
That's awesome.
But apparently, they're all going crazy for Donald Trump too. So it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny.
I can just imagine Marcus in the back, like, all right,
let's go.
New York loves me. New York
as long as you didn't know till after, you take that energy with you.
I didn't know. Good. The ref was like, even the ref or the cut man was like, putting some Vaseline on me. He's like, man, the crowd's you got the crowd going tonight. Let's go. And I'm like, yeah, you know it. Yeah. It's like, oh no, Donald Trump walked in.
That's so good. Marcus, last one for me. We do have a bantamweight matchup this weekend. I lost my thing. Jan Figueiredo. Who do you got?
Great fight.
And Figueiredo is tough, and I know he's durable, but I think Peter Yan is going to be that guy that can weather that storm. He's got a lot of different tools that he can utilize, and I think the things that Figueiredo is really good at, Peter Yan is better at. So I'm going to have to go with Peter Yan, but man, I would not be surprised if Davis and Figueiredo came out with a submission.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like not enough people are talking about this fight. I think this is going to be a good one. This is going to be really good.
I think so too. Yeah, I think they just doubt where Figueiredo's at, and they forgot who Peter Yan is. I don't know how, but these people they forget pretty quickly. Peter Yan's a savage, and Figueiredo is no joke either. So I think they're going to be in for a treat, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like MMA fans, if you win, you're literally John Jones, and if you lose, you should be cut. If there's no middle ground in the game,
it's like
the MMA fans are fickle. They are fickle.
It sucks that that's the case, and honestly, I appreciate them because they pay the bills, but at the same time, that's the truth. That's why we can't hold on to too many things that get said, because even if it's good, it'll be bad whenever it's bad, and when it's bad, it'll be good, and they're going to be all over the place. So focus on the things that are important,
Love
Grant
that.
Grant has some messages on his Instagram, Dave, and I'm sure you probably have this too, where somebody will he'll win a fight and it'll be like, oh man, like just such a big fan, blah, blah, blah. He'll lose the next one. And in the same message thread, like he hasn't responded the message right after. It's like, oh, you freaking suck. You're the worst. And then they'll win another fight. And then the next one, like the 3 messages in a row is like, I love you, man. I hate you.
It's ridiculous.
It's like, did they not see the thread when they sent the next message?
But I'm sure that's
emotional.
why.
They're emotional.
And I'm sure your faith in God definitely helps you.
100%. It's crazy. That's why, I stick to being focused on my family, my teammates, and my relationship with God, because all the other stuff, that's all noise.
Yep. 1000%.
1000%. Big fan, man. I'm with her too.
I'm sure you're tired, man. Get home to your family. Enjoy this moment. You deserve this moment. And we look forward to seeing you again.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Marcus.
Awesome, 10-1, 4-0 in the UFC. Hey, we're going to get the God first hats coming through. Appreciate you, Marcus. Have a good day.
Love it.
Love it. What a stuff.
Literally joining us from the airport. Gotta love it.
Dude, Maurice Greene is going to a secret location. We got another UFC stud coming from the airport. Dean Toole jumps on the show from weekend. What a life, guys.
It's the best.
Did you bring Grant over?
I know. Seriously. Grant, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh, you know, just
I'm
chilling.
ready.
Just chilling.
Oh, Dave's got another card
I'm
to
ready
break.
whenever
Card
you
box
want.
to break with
Very
you.
Maybe not today. Maybe not. If he's ready. No
Well,
pressure.
listen, I gotta go take my temperature.
Go to
I'm
sleep. Go to bed.
I am on the struggle bus. I really just wanted to talk to Marcus real quick. I'm going to leave you.
Real
but
quick
I-
before you leave, Maddie.
Yes.
Maddie Levine, to everyone listening and watching, we're going to cut it up in audio, was absolutely a monster this past week in Biloxi. I mean that in the best way possible. She's a stud. She did everything behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, talking to fighters, interviews, all the stuff you saw on Fight Bananas. Guys, I was busy. I was freaking doing commentary stuff. Maddie was Miss Fight Bananas this week. So shout out Maddie Levine.
Behind the
Shout
scenes. Out. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will leave you with this. This was the headline that I was going to have you guys talk about today. Is AI the future of UFC rankings? And with that, I will leave you with that, and I will go throw up and listen to what you guys have to say. Okay, bye.
Go to sleep.
Maddie Levine, guys. Maddie
Love
Levine.
you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Maddie Levine.
No, 100%. I love the idea of AI rankings.
What?
Because the journalist rankings have been so good, Dave. Listen, hear me out. We put a number of parameters in, right? Dozens of different factors, and the rankings are automatically adjusted based on those factors, like how recently you fought, how you beat people. That is the way to do it. Otherwise, we end up with guys losing once in 7 years and getting booted from the rankings, and then the guy that beat them losing their next fight and somehow sitting eternally in the rankings. Like, it's so clearly a bias system. Or we end up with RDA, who has not won a fight at lightweight since 2020, just getting removed from the lightweight rankings just now, today.
Usually you and I are on the same brain length on everything. Not today, but it happens. It happens, sis. It happens. Let me just I'm not saying it's definitely not perfect. It is. There's some broken system to it for sure, El. So I'm not going to die on the hill of a little bit of brokenness. But to me, the thing I dislike the most, AI, dude, their AI doesn't know circumstances and doesn't know like there's no feel and heart. There's no
what. But those shouldn't be rankings as statistics.
No.
Feelings and heart should not be part of that.
There we go. I disagree. It's the Habib thing. Habib won 14 straight fights. 12 of them were to guys that they fought before they sold a Chevy Cadillac. You know what I mean? Or to no ones. To see what Alex is doing now, or look at Max Holloway's resume, or
those aren't feelings; those are statistics. You can add those parameters. What were their opponents' records? How many wins did their opponents have? How many finishes did their opponents have? Did they finish those opponents? All of those things are statistics that can be coded into the AI.
No,
how much heart somebody has and how much you love them should not be a factor in rankings. It can be a factor in Fighter of the Year. It can be a factor in how many opportunities they get, but it shouldn't affect rankings.
If a fight goes to a decision, and the PFL has done this, they have a AI rank or there's a L Dawson rank. I will trust L Dawson. I believe in your way to see fights, what really does damage to you've been in there, you've done it all, you coached it all, your husband's a huge part of it. Like, you have more intel and what's really happening than AI does. Like,
yeah, for judging fights, 100%. Because
I'm going to use that same thing for rankings.
Like, but rankings shouldn't be subjective.
I disagree. I think there's what we saw Dakota Ditcheva do to some of the soccer moms in PFL. Like, when she does, you see, she ends the fight, she ends the night, and she does it like, you're like, oh my goodness. I said to you, I called you one time, I'm like, I don't care that she beat a soccer mom. It's how she defeated that soccer mom.
All of that can be added into the AI code. How soon did she finish it? Was it a knockout? Was it a TKO? Was it a decision? What were the scorecards? If it was a round 3 finish, did they win the first 2 rounds? All of those things can be added into code because they're factual statistics. But how much we like Max Holloway shouldn't determine why he's ranked in 2 different divisions forever. You know, like Conor McGregor, how much we love him shouldn't affect why he got to be ranked without fighting for a million years.
Of course, that's what I mean. I can't. That statement about Conor is 100% true. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's not. I just always will believe, and maybe it's so naiveness of me. I will always believe in people, in us. I will always believe in the eye test. There's machines and AI. There's a lot of good, and they do a lot of good. But when it comes down to it, if someone's pulling that trigger or going to save something,
it's just so clear that the journalists in charge of these rankings, like they like certain people and they don't like other people. And it's so obvious when you see the way the rankings are laid out. Sure. They just look so incredibly biased. And I think AI could do a better job of that. However, on the topic of rankings, the journalists got something right this week because number 15 of the lightweight division is Grant Dawson again, and they finally took RDA out of the rankings, who I love, by the way. Love RDA to death. One of my favorite fighters of all time, but hasn't won a fight at lightweight since 2020. So it was about
maybe a possible Grant Dawson opponent, RDA.
Oh. Well, he's not. He said he's not going back down to lightweight, so we got him removed from the rankings. Okay, Dave, he's gone. He's a welterweight now.
I know.
He might be a retired welterweight. Well, I hope he's okay. Like, you know, like I really do. I hope. Seriously, it sucks to see a guy like RDA get injured, you know. But,
dude, we had a lot of great God talk so far on the podcast today. Very well, Marcus, all about it. I love it.
Loved it. Love his attitude. Love seeing, him just getting this huge platform. I think he's been kind of an underrated guy. And I don't want to say underrated because he was beating like super, super high profile names. This is by far his like highest level opponent in the UFC.
Yeah, big spot.
So it was like, but it was definitely his time to shine and get some of that attention put on him. So love to see that for him.
Yeah, big spot. Like I said, I've known him for a while, and I remember doing something with him before the UFC. So I remember kind of talking to him before or something. He was going to maybe fight for something happened. And then, he's been on a great run. And then the fights he's won in the UFC to beat Martinez, I'm like, dang, the guy's 10-1, 4-0 in the UFC. It's like, that's how champion runs start. Like that's,
no, 100%. And in such a deep division too. Kudos to him getting ranked four fights in. Beautifully done.
Earlier, you said about Gamebred Bare Knuckle. Did you watch just the main event, you said, or did you watch?
That's all I've seen so far. I need to go back and watch the rest. So
you should watch the cold open. There's someone that does a great voiceover.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely make sure I check that out. Is it Brendan Schaub? Just kidding. Sorry. I love you, Dave. I hope you know how much I love you. I don't know why I'm so combative today. I think it's because I feel ganged up about John Jones. You're like,
I said it earlier. Like I'm not even. I've never got that much positive reinforcement ever in my life by so many people. Like people in the industry, people that were there that night, and just around the industry, and then like people I haven't talked to in a long time. They're like, dude, I just saw you commentate with Brendan Schaub on a big show, and I saw like. It's me, Schaub, and Jorge doing the first thing, like with John Ant. It's like, that's me. I had a hot mic. And not that, and Maddie said it earlier, I didn't even know this going into the weekend. Dude, I hosted the press conference. I hosted the weigh-in show and do post-fight for the weigh-ins. Then I had to do like the cold open, all that stuff. Then play-by-play commentary. I was John Anik. Then I had to jump in the octagon like Joe Rogan. I was the post-fight interview guy. I did everything. Like it was crazy.
What a G. Great A right there.
He sent me something really nice that night too.
That was cool. About
that. But all right, we got 12 minutes. Did we agree, guys? As I think we kind of talked about, I think we were there. Elle, I don't know if you had one more, but let me talk about it real quick. We were saying, what is our UFC of this great iconic shot of Muhammad Ali? I think we were kind of here. I think consensus was the John Jones walk away to Machida. But did you have one more?
No, I was with Maddie. I thought this one was just awesome. Like that was such an iconic moment of a UFC 300 card too. Yeah. Like such a big card, such a big moment. That was pretty awesome. But I think if we're talking about just in all of MMA history, you have to go with the Jones one. I still love that picture of Silva.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. And that's where I was. It was so funny you said that because it's on my list. It's my number 2. So you can say that, be like, yeah, I think so. I just felt with Muhammad Ali, like you have to go, and that's what was my thing on Matt. He can't be Josh Emmett. I don't care what the picture is. It can't be Josh Emmett. Yeah, like our Muhammad Ali is John Jones. So, and then this picture is so close. It's not like it's way off. That is a all-time shot. And it's kind of him over him, kind of like Muhammad. There's a little connective tissue.
No, I think that's the right answer. I do. I agree. But
big thing here, Buffalo Bills, dude. So if I can go real quick. I had the Gamebred show all week. Saturday, my Florida Gators play LSU, beat them. And then Sunday, the biggest football game of the year, the Buffalo Bills played the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Ellen, I know exactly, you know what I mean. And beat the Chiefs. It was the greatest weekend of my life.
This is the greatest week of my life. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good for them.
No, that's a good one too. Izzy and Alex,
incredible picture. But the moment, I agree with you, Dave. Like it has to be Jones because it's Ollie is the GOAT and Jones is the GOAT. But I'm with Sean. I like that picture. But the picture itself is more iconic, but the moment is more iconic with Jones. So
it is. Sean, I'm gonna have to send you another card. You keep on being this nice to my Buffalo Bills. All right. We are an hour and 46 minutes into the show. We will be done here in 12, 13 minutes. We did not mention Michael Chandler or Charles Oliveira's name yet to just right now. Crazy co-main event. I'm going to say this, I know people are, and I'm usually the opposite, but I'm going to say this right now. Michael Chandler, as entertaining as he is, and he's amazing and he's fun, and I will always pay to see his fights. The man sooner or later needs to start winning some of these big high key matchups, or he's just going to be
2-4.
Say that again for the people in the back.
He is 2-4 in the UFC.
Yeah, that's not good.
His wins are Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. Now, and Tony Ferguson after Tony Ferguson was done being Tony Ferguson, you know? Yeah. And honestly, Dan Hooker before he bleached his hair and got tattooed, which we all know unlocked a whole new Dan Hooker. So, the only fights that I really want to see Chandler in, I'm so tired of him calling out Conor McGregor. I think we can all agree on that. Like, kudos to him showing support for Peanut, justice for Peanut. But the squirrel in New York, Dave's so confused. Pop culture reference. But like his post-fight interview goes right back to Conor. You're not fighting Conor. You just lost. You got absolutely wrestle bombed for 3 rounds and cheated ridiculoly.
That's a problem, by the way, but that is a problem.
Nonsense. All nonsense. Cage grabs, threw his whole arm over the cage. Like too much for Michael Chandler. But the only fights for me that make sense for Michael Chandler at this point is Hooker 2. But Hooker deserves somebody higher, in my opinion, because beating Gamrot is a huge notch in your belt, and he's ranked quite a bit higher. But at least there's some of that.
It's a name bump.
Yeah. Well, there's that past. There's the fact that I think a lot of us think that Hooker would beat him now, myself included. I feel like Chandler just doesn't look the same. He doesn't look. It's not even that he's lost his speed necessarily. It's like he can't put it together as well. And I don't know exactly what it is, but he looks worse.
It's funny you say that.
So much better.
People don't understand that. For one, he is older. He is up there in those high 30s, so that's one off the rip. But it's always different in MMA math. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to say this out loud for the people in the back. In a couple years, Max Holloway, people are going to be like, oh, he's like 35 or 36. He's going to be so old, 35 or 36, because he started so young in the UFC. And then he went through incredible wars. When it falls off, it's going to fall off quick. Back to Michael Chandler. The man was in Bellator having wars with everyone, Eddie Alvarez and all that. Like, I don't care that he took off for the last couple of years, and that was a big reason why. He's been through wars. He's just not the same guy. It's okay to say that.
No,
great run even in the UFC. He's not the same guy.
You could give him Gamrot. Grant and I were actually talking about that. Like, you could give him Grant versus Michael Chandler. Let's go. It honestly doesn't not make sense. Like, Chandler,
a big co-main event on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, Chandler hasn't been winning. He shouldn't get to fight up unless it's Hooker, because that's the only thing that makes sense. I was honestly going to say Jim Miller. Like Jim Miller and Michael Chandler makes sense right now. That's how badly Michael Chandler's been doing. And not to knock Jim Miller, it's just he hasn't been ranked in a long time.
Yeah.
But
how about Jim Miller versus Grant?
Yeah.
It's a big, I know it's a little backwards, but the name is there.
The name's there. I'm in. He said he's in.
Oh my goodness.
Make you some artwork. Dave, can you make some artwork of Grant being back in the rankings? Could you do that for me?
Wow. Anything for you guys. Anything for you guys. It will be up today.
Me after making fun of Dave relentlessly for an hour and 15 minutes. Actually, I haven't even been on the show that long. An hour. But
and you missed the beginning of it, El. And Maddie said, what was my favorite moment? Definitely, dude, doing the cold open and doing everything. There's a picture of me, Brendan Schaub, and Jorge Masvidal doing the open. It's two absolute legends and me. It doesn't make sense. Life is the craziest thing ever. But my honest favorite memory, and I said it to Maddie earlier, at one time, El, because you know how it is when you take over the whole fight week, you have different ballrooms and people, there's weigh-ins and production meetings. There's one room of Gamebred, and it's the media room. And I look at this table. It's a table, like a Thanksgiving table, and there's 7 people sitting there. All 7 people started with Fight Bananas. There's 7 people at this table working for Gamebred for something, or, Maddie was there just for Fight Bananas. And everyone was there, started through Fight Bananas. I was like a proud dad. That's a proud dad. It was insane.
So that's how Dean does his hiring.
I know. I literally said that to him. I was like, Dean. And he's like, holy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's cool. But no, yeah, that's my whole Michael Chandler bit, honestly.
Yeah.
That's all of it.
I'm with you. Okay. Charles Oliveira, is it a title shot right away, or is there one more with him before that?
I mean, you have Arman waiting for the title.
Can he be the backup for that fight?
It makes sense. I would
assume
that's where they'll put him. And then he'll get next. I don't really know what's going on with Gaethje.
How about Oliveira versus Holloway at 155, the rematch?
You could do that. You could. I wonder how much time Max is going to take off. You could is Hooker booked?
No. You
could do him and Hooker. Honestly, he and Max kind of make sense because I think they're both kind of, unfortunately, they're the guys that are right there below the title that probably are never going to win it again.
Right.
Which sucks, but they're just right there. And Max looked great at lightweight, but he also just got knocked out for the first time ever. And I'm so because Max is such a fighter's fighter. You know how beloved he is by all of us. Yeah. I'm kind of afraid for him that it's the beginning of the end type of thing. Like Volk and Islam. Was that the beginning of the end? Or is Ilya just that good? Or is it both? Is it a combination of?
It's probably a combination of both. For one, Volkanovski moving up, and people, the same thing. Guys, look at Volkanovski's age. Look at his wear and tear. Look what he fought through. That man was fighting 3 times a year, making that drastic weight cut. We all remember how big he used to be as a rugby player. It just takes a toll. You just can't. Fighters can't fight forever. They just can't do it. Into NFL play, Aaron Rodgers, I know it's above your thing. Aaron Rodgers is done. When you are done, it happens, and you just can't do this forever. Exactly. It's an overnight thing, and then you work so hard to get to a point. So it's you're here, and that's why Bisping. I respected Bisping kind of fighting down even as the champion. He's I want that big payday against Stan Henderson. It's the biggest payday of his life. So I really get it, but it's hard. Volk and Holloway, it's tough. It's tough.
Sean is probably right here, honestly. This is probably true. He probably will be a backup fighter. Aspinall said, why? You get to show up and get paid just to make weight and he's a heavyweight. He doesn't even
$200,000. He got paid $200,000
to not cut weight and just be there. Yeah. Oh, come on. Don't complain about it. I'm a big Tom Aspinall fan, but why complain about that?
Pity on Tom Aspinall, I'm over it. I'm so over it.
My one thing, Dave, there is this horrible look for John Jones. There's an interview Grant showed it to me where he's like, I just think Tom Aspinall's an asshole. That's why I don't want to fight him. He's just a bad person. And it cuts to every like interview that Tom Aspinall does talking about John Jones, where he's just like, I just think he's the best of all time, and I really want to test myself against him. And he just is just glowing praise for John Jones. And then it cuts back to him. He's like, yeah, he's just a dick.
I'm just like, I'm over the pity party for Aspinall. Like, he's getting well compensated. He's the interim heavyweight champion of the world. He's gotten.
Well, is he? I guess he did get paid to be the backup fighter, but
$200,000.
is he gonna be backup fighter again? But still, it's like, it sucks to just not fight. Like, he should not be complaining about making $200,000 and not even cut weight.
I'm not even joking on this. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if John's going to fight Tom next or John's going to fight Alex. But if John does fight Alex, and I think, and John said this, he will give up the heavyweight championship. He did it in the light heavyweight division. He'll do it in the heavyweight division. He can just fight Alex. It doesn't even need the title. Doesn't need the BMF. Just them two on a poster. Sign me up. Fight of the year. Biggest pay-per-view of the year. It could be on International Fight Week. Imagine John Jones and Alex.
No, don't get me wrong. It would be huge. I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
And then we're going to get to Bo in a second. We'll end the show kind of with the Bo stuff. I had a good thing on that. And I just think Tom just needs them. Tom will move on. He's the best heavyweight alive today. He's the heavyweight champion. Defeat Volkov. Go defeat Gon. Go defeat Jalton Almeida next year. Just be the heavyweight champion. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's
maybe they cross paths again. Maybe. All right.
Okay.
Bo Nickel. A lot of.
Real quick, before you move on, Christian, I would watch this fight 10 times. Yeah. I would watch Max and Dustin fight at lightweight 10 times. That's all I wanted to say.
Wait. After Dustin knocks out Fiziev, how do you know that, Christian? How do you know he's fighting Fiziev?
There's been musings, rumors circulating.
Maybe one media outlet has a poster already. I don't know. All right.
Bo Nickel.
This is my take on Bo Nickel. I think it's what I said about Aspinall. I agree. The 180 on Nickel. Paul Craig is a legit mainstay UFC fighter. Been in the divisions forever. Didn't Paul Craig break Jamal Hill's arm?
And submitted Ankalaev.
He defeated Magomed Ankalaev. I don't care. Like, the hate on Bo Nickel is ridiculous. The man is undefeated in MMA. He's going up the right passage. He's not skipping any lines. He just fought him. Like, I don't care if he knocks him out in 1 second or gets a unanimous decision win. The man keeps winning. Like, I don't understand at all any hate or pushback on Bo Nickel.
No, and I with the answer, is he getting pushed too quick? I think he is playing this perfectly. He has such a good head on his shoulders. He knows he lacks experience in this sport. He knows that. And he said it on our show. He said, I want at least 2 more fights like Paul Craig, and then at least 1 more before I even touch the rankings. And I loved Dave's matchmaking Monday for him with Chris Weidman. I think it makes sense. It's a huge name. He still is skilled, even though he's older, but I think it's a very winnable fight for Bo Nickel. I think it's a great matchup. It's a guy who can also wrestle.
I think it's a winnable fight for Weidman too. Like, I think Weidman has a shot.
It's a good test for Bo, and it's a fight that makes sense it just makes sense, like, ranking wise,
And also, I think if Bo's going to keep on going, like, you go back and you look, it's a great name to have on the resume on the way up.
And Mike, yes, the O'Malley route. The O'Malley route is the smart route, guys. I was an O'Malley hater, but that man did it right. Like, he did it right 100%. But I thought, somebody said, how did he look on the feet? I clicked the wrong one. I thought he looked really good. I really did.
But
yeah. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Real quick on the Bo feet thing. Real quick. I think it was, maybe I'm wrong and I'm reading it, and shout out to the great Michael Garapy. Shout out. Bo Nickel never needs to be Alex Pereira on his feet.
Yes.
He doesn't need to. Max Holloway wasn't and is not the greatest grappler of all time. He just has good grappling defense. Then he can stand and bang and do his thing. If Bo can just not have good stand-up defense and have an overhand left and just kind of have that Khabib Nurmagomedov defensive overhand and wrestle and grapple, he will become a world champion. Like,
100%.
guys, it's going to happen. Am I wrong on this? Am I right?
No, I think you're 100% right. And I think that's like, people forget that. And you know, you have kind of started to change my mind on this, on the specialist. I think I think it's a little bit different. It used to be a pure specialist, like with the Gracie, the Gracie guys and all that. They were pure specialists. Now we have well-rounded specialists like Marab and Bilal. They are specialists, but they're still well-rounded. And Bo is still developing 100%, but that's okay because the dude only has 6 fights. If he was fighting the way he is right now on a regional show, we would be singing his praises.
Bro, we would be gushing over that performance. He just defeated Paul Craig.
He has like 30 professional fights.
UFC lifer. And real quick, and I probably do this way too much, and it's almost a little bit of my thing. I always pull back the curtain. I sent Grant and Elle a text of my collection and my love for Grant Dawson. I love the man. I love him. I'll do anything in the world for this guy. I think he is a hybrid specialist. I think it's the best way to be. If my son Dylan goes, hey, I want to become a fighter one day, be like, hey, go to Grant Dawson's house and teach everything to become the best specialist you can be. Like, stop Kayla Harrison. Like, these are the best fighters in the world. Like, sooner or later, the other stuff you can get better at for sure. But just if you're the best, if you're in the 1% of something, just do that. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's if you have a path to victory, like, keep it.
Sean, Bo Nickel would smash Kevin Holland. Did you see what Chimaev did to Kevin Holland? Bo Nickel would hot knife butter him.
I do want to talk about Chimaev for a second because I was not a believer, and I definitely am now. I think that dude is a problem. A problem.
So you didn't before the
fight,
you were iffy about him as a middleweight.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, just as a fighter in general, I felt like Burns, like the performance against Burns, the performance against Usman, I just wasn't sold on Khamzat Chimaev. But seeing what he did to Whitaker, if he gets on top, I think he beats Sean Strickland. 100%. I think DDP with the with the wrestling and his strength, his just overall strength, and I think he could be a tough matchup. But I feel like Khamzat gets Sean down. And I think if he gets just about anybody down, he can probably do it 2 more times. You know, and that's all he needs. Like, not a lot of people are getting away from him. And I certainly don't think Sean Strickland, like, Usman has some of the highest level wrestling in the UFC. And he got taken down. You know, what is this? I'm confused. Are we talking about Bo here? Why didn't he take him down? Because everybody asked to see him strike for 15 minutes. So he struck for 15 minutes. You know, it's an opportunity to work on stuff. Like, you have to develop in the fight. You can't just develop in the gym. So I think it was a great opportunity for him to improve a piece of his game that is necessary to set up takedowns against higher level opponents. He doesn't need to become a world-class kickboxer, but he does need to develop his striking in a way that sets up his wrestling, because we don't start on the ground. We start on the feet. And a higher level middleweight, a Marvin Vettori level middleweight, a Brendan Allen level middleweight, you're going to have to set up your wrestling at a very, very high level. So I think it was I think Paul Craig was the perfect fight for Bo at this time, personally. Paul Craig's striking is not super great and it's not super dangerous. He has the wrestling, he has the takedown defense that encouraged Bo to work on his striking during that fight. I think it was a great opportunity, you know?
And the one thing I just think this is common sense, right? Bo Nickel was one of the greatest amateur wrestlers in the history of the sport, right? What he did for Penn State and everything. So, like, we know the work ethic of the human being is there. Like, his heart, his spirit, his whatever you want to say, his mojo is better than 99% of man on this planet. So it's like he's exponentially going to get better at this mixed martial arts thing. He's just going to keep improving. And I think that's a big way of why he doesn't fight 4 times in a year. It's like, guys, he goes away in a camp and gets better and better and better. I'm telling you, 2027, like he might be the best middleweight alive. He might.
There's
All
so
right.
much time for him to develop. 100%.
Yeah. All right. I think we did it. We more than enough. We have more. Maybe Friday's I think Thursday is a MMA weekly roundup show. Friday I'm gonna be out of town, but yeah, we'll see. But killer show, dude. Maurice Greene was awesome all week at Gamebred. Dean Toole coming on, dropping some knowledge, some nuggets, always great. And then, dude, Marcus McGhee, like stud, 10-1, 4-0 on the banner. Literally just got off the plane from New York City, came on the show. So shout out to them. I think we did it. Anything else? Anything you want to push, promote? You want to push God real quick?
Let's go. Praise Jesus.
We praise Jesus here in Fight Banana. So
we do.
Sorry, but we do. We do here.
We do it here. But
awesome.
We love you all.
We'll do this soon. Maybe in the next week we'll do this with Grant Dawson. Maybe before Thanksgiving, something like that. A little Thanksgiving card breakup.
Heck yeah.
One last thing. If people are still watching, you're on YouTube. We got 2 Peter Yans and 2 Non, the co-main event.
Ooh, Yan Chanan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Giving these cards, just subscribe to this YouTube channel, Fight Bananas Official. Say that you subscribe, message Fight Bananas. I'll mail that out this week. I got a ton of stamps. I'll mail them out to you. There you go. All right. Dude, Sven.
Let's go. We
Jesus.
love you guys so much.
It's the best. All right, El Dawson. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. And yeah. Great show. Later.